Hey pals, Dan here. It's not Katie. I know we have really similar voices, so it's easy to mistake them. But this is Dan, not Katie. I just wanted to pop in before the episode starts to tell you we've got some really, really exciting news. Some of it I will tell you now, and some of it I can't tell you yet. First bit of exciting news, you probably already noticed that we have some new artwork and a new logo for our show. It's such a cool logo. It makes me smile every time I see it. And so I want to give a huge thanks to a good friend of mine and a good friend of the show, Aaron Kraus. You can check out more of his artwork at aaronkrus.com. That's aaronkraus.com. I'm not going to spell the com part, because if you don't know how to spell that, you've probably never used the internet. So you go to internet.com. Can't do that either. You're out of luck. All right, enough of this goof. So the rest of the news, as I said, you're going to have to just wait a little bit. We're waiting for everything to be official, and then we promise we will let you know as soon as we possibly can what this exciting news is. But in the meantime, we wanted to release a little bit of a throwback episode. So an episode that I think some people were expecting in like the third or fourth episode, but we wanted to save this one for some special subscriber content. But this seemed like a good time to release it. So it's the much anticipated episode of Spelling Bee. We're joined by our very, very funny friend Jacob, and I think you're really gonna like this episode. It's a good one, but it is an older episode, so the sound quality isn't perfect, and you're gonna miss some of the newer bits that we've all grown to know and love. But again, it's an amazing episode, so I hope you enjoy it, and thanks so much for listening. And please, I can't tell you how many times I'll say please if you want me to. I'll never stop saying please for the rest of my life if you want. If you just give us a review on iTunes. It's so helpful. It lets us know that you're listening. It lets us know that you like what we're doing, and it lets other folks know that this might be a podcast that's worth listening. Thanks for listening. Okay, goodbye.
MusiPals. Can you use that in a sentence?
The best podcast in the world is called MusiPals.
Thank you, that's helpful. MusiPals. M-U-S-I-P-A-L-S. MusiPals.
That is correct.
That is
You've
correct.
done it. You've done it.
Oh my gosh.
Are you stuck?
I'm stuck to
You're
this
dressed.
chair. Blast stuck to this chair, dude.
My parents keep on telling me
MusiPals, what did you think of the MusiPals? I nailed that one.
That was nice.
You get it.
Every one of them I nailed, I'll tell you
Yeah,
what.
no, that was like not even close to the melody. Like,
I'm still learning.
I liked it. It was
I'm getting
good.
the hang of it.
It was your own. It was unique. I loved it.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the show. If you didn't already turn it off after that amazing rendition of that song. This is MusiPals. It's a podcast about musicals for our MusiPals.
Hey.
I'm Dan, your music noob.
And I'm Katie, your music nerd. And we have here with us our good pal Jacob. Hi.
Hi.
Jacob from
Yay.
Lost.
What?
You're Jacob from Lost, right?
I was
smoke monster?
just talking to a friend about Lost. I was obsessed with that show, but it was so bad.
It was an excellent show. I haven't seen
loved
the
it.
ending yet.
I
So
loved
don't
I've
spoil
only
it.
seen the last episode.
Yeah, my
Together-
friend I was talking, he was like, I only saw the last season, and I was like, am I high right now? This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It's an absurd show.
Yeah, it's...
But this is not a show about Lost. Well, it could be if we wanted to be.
No, it
I
can't
could talk
be.
about
But
Lost
it's
for
a,
a
show,
while.
it's a show about finding ourselves. It's a show about
We're growing up.
happiness, about erections,
A little bit about
A
action.
little
Yeah.
bit. A little bit.
and just a show about some good old-fashioned spelling.
Yeah. That's true.
So if you didn't figure it out
Fair.
already, the show that we are doing, let me make sure I get this right, the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
Hell yeah.
Correct.
Excellent show. I shouldn't say that. I'm going to say it. I fucking love freaking
Yes!
love
It
this
is
show.
an excellent
This
show.
is the first one that Dan outright has loved right off the
Yes.
bat.
I don't
Good.
I don't love musicals inherently.
It's a unique musical.
It's
so
Yeah.
It
good.
is. It
It's
is.
so good.
Yeah.
Jacob, we would like to know why you chose this musical for us to talk about.
Yeah. I chose Spelling Bee because it's one of my favorite musicals. It's super funny, and also really heartwarming and wonderful. It has incredible music, and it sort of has a special place in my heart because it was my first professional gig as a music director. So, yeah.
So you directed the music in it?
I did, yes. Yeah, for a wonderful
Sam
theater.
knows nothing. So.
Well, I didn't know if like you were acting it and then you just happened to also be like, it was my first gig when I became a lawyer and then I did a musical.
No. Please keep talking.
Nope. So this Summer Stock Theater, it's actually they do theater, excellent theater year round in Helena, Montana, and I got hired the year before to be in their shows as an actor, and then the next year they hired me as their music director. So the first show I did was Spelling Bee, and the second show I did Mary Poppins, and I just had so much fun with Spelling Bee. We put the show up in like 3 days. It was insane.
Wow.
It was insane. So for context, in case you don't know, so like the show I'm doing right now, we rehearsed for like 2 months.
Right.
So 3 days is like
It's a
insane.
little bit different.
Yeah.
So the music in here, I mean, I don't know much about musicals, but I do know a little bit about music. It's fairly complex, like melodically. There's a lot of things going on.
Sure.
No? Disagree?
No, I do. The songs are, some of them are, I think William Finn, who is the composer, is interesting because he does write semi-complex music. Some of the harmonies are rather complex, but overall I think he has a really simplistic sound, especially in Spelling Bee because it's about a bunch of kids and it sounds like kids singing and kids songs and it has that really playful attitude. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. It is a fantastic musical.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it until I knew a little bit about it. I watched multiple of it. That's going to be cut out. But I didn't know much about it. But I am very glad that you have officially introduced it into my life.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fantastic. Katie.
Awesome.
Do you want to dive in and talk about how you felt about it, or do you want to go to you know what?
I will say, since we're all sharing feelings.
Yeah.
Love Spelling Bee.
It's great.
2 of my dream roles are in the show.
Dream Girls?
Can I guess what they are?
Please guess.
Logan Schwartz and Grubenyer. Yeah, is that one of them? And oh gosh, I don't know. I just think you'd
Leaf
be a
Cody
What's her
Bear.
name? The lady at the desk.
Oh,
That's-
Rona.
Yeah.
Rona Lisa Peretti.
Yeah.
That would be a dream role
Her
for
songs
you?
are so pretty. Yeah.
Oh, because their songs are nice.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so fun to sing.
You're too
I don't
young
see
for
you
that.
playing
I'm
that.
too, like all my dream roles, I'm too young for it.
Okay.
I could see you playing the middle school teacher. Their vice principal.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's her.
That's
Rona.
what
No, the guy. The dude.
Oh,
the dude.
Panch.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a great Barfy.
You know what? I could kill Barfy.
Can you say
You
lugubrious?
actually could.
Yeah,
There is no doubt in my mind that you would destroy that.
We did a gender swapped casting of Spelling Bee.
That's actually one of the things I love about Spelling Bee is like none of the characters are really super specific. So
really
you
true.
probably could do just about anything with any of those characters.
Yeah.
Any sort of ethnicity or body type or gender could play just about any one of those characters and it would
'cause
still
they're
make
just
sense.
kids, you
Yeah.
know?
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. So Spelling Bee's awesome. Love Spelling Bee. With that being said,
You
I
ready?
think we should dive right into Nerd Alert.
3,
Uh-oh.
2, 1.
Nerd Alert. Okay, this is our first segment. We're gonna give some info, and since Jacob, I feel like you know so much about it.
Yeah.
Like, please hop in. Sorry,
Okay,
it's time
great.
to get alerted.
Nerd alert.
There you go.
I get it. I get the stick.
You get it?
So Spelling Bee. One of my favorite facts that I learned whilst researching was that it was originally based off of an improv play,
Crepuscule.
which I think is probably why you love it so much.
And I was so surprised when there were a few improv moments.
Yeah.
Just a couple. But
Yeah.
yeah.
That's actually not super true. A lot of the show is improvised, or
okay.
can be.
Sure.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
audience and the
There's
people at the
audience
desk too,
participation
right?
and also like the words that you
All the- in the
give
sentences?
they give suggestions, but it's open to a lot of possibilities.
Oh, nice. Like
so.
when they say
That's super fun.
like, use it in a sentence, those are improvised, right?
Yeah, they can be.
There's some
They can
great
be.
ones in the version I watched.
Yes.
Some really great ones.
Oh my gosh, yes. So good.
So good. So
I didn't know it was an improv play. I thought it was a book called Crepuscule, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I know it went through several different stages.
I
so
saw
you're
that it
probably right.
was.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in MusiPals history, we've got a Nerd Alert challenge.
We have a Nerd Alert
Nerd Alert challenge!
It's like the showdown. Okay, hold on. This says improvised play.
You could be right.
Created by Rebecca Feldman and performed by The Farm, a New York-based improvisational comedy troupe. and the woman Sarah Salzberg, who originated Logan Schwarzenegger,
Yep.
right, was Wendy Wasserstein, who's a famous playwright's weekend nanny, and so she came and saw the show, and then was like got people to come see it, and then she got people to like make it a musical.
I had no idea.
Sorry, say that again. She was the weekend nanny
Okay,
of
so the girl,
person
the woman who played Logan, with, with the pigtails,
Yep.
like worked as a nanny for Wendy Wasserstein.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
And Wendy Wasserstein is a playwright, and so she has clout, and got her pals to come watch it, and was like, "This is some awesome stuff. We need to make it a stage musical."
Nice.
Cool.
Pretty cool stuff.
Nerd alert.
So nerd alert. We're all learning stuff today. And so 3 actors from the original improv show stayed: Logan, and then the guy who played Barfi, who is going to be in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. And then the guy who played the vice principal. So the musical was workshopped in Massachusetts in 2004, and then the process was pretty quick, probably because it was already pretty fleshed out, improvised. And then they moved off Broadway in 2005, and then later that year they moved to Broadway, which is like really fast for shows. Usually it takes like years and years.
Right.
And it was hugely successful, and it's like toured all around the world, and it's a huge hit. Like crazy stuff. Everyone wants to do Spelling Bee. And so, the original Broadway production, directed by James Lapine, and, like you said, music and lyrics by William Finn, and the book by Rachel Schinken. Yes, cool stuff. And so, what else is like cool about this is they have audience members. This is one of my like favorite things about the show. They have audience members like come up and like try and spell stuff, and so that always adds like something new to like each show. And I'm sure like audience members could probably be assholes sometimes, but I think it's a cool. I think it's a cool thing, and they compete with the kids. And then other fun facts is that this was Josh Gad's big break. He was cast as the replacement for Barfi on Broadway, and this was his first big professional show.
What happened to the original?
Just stopped doing it. It ran for 3 years, so that's a long time.
He, broke his
He
thumb.
broke his thumb.
Broke his foot.
He broke a toe.
Broke his
couldn't
magic
do the
foot.
dancing
Couldn't go on.
anymore.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it. And the guy who played Chip originally was the photographer friend in Hitch. The whole time when I was watching it, I was like, "You look so familiar." And he's the photographer that like works at the gossip mag.
That's really funny.
And he's like pretends.
I'm gonna go back and watch Hitch now.
And then like there's a lot of big people like Celia Keenan Bolger,
Jesse Tyler Ferguson.
Who
is also from Montana.
Yeah.
I just remembered that.
Yeah.
Someone told me that one time. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
And he's so good.
In case you don't know,
what is he
Modern
called?
Family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Of course. A
Mitch.
little show
Yeah,
called
Mitch.
Modern Family.
Mitch. What does he play in the 25th annual?
What's his
He
name?
plays Leaf Coney
Leaf
Bear.
Coney
Yeah,
Bear?
Coney Bear.
No way.
Yeah.
He's a great character.
Yeah.
He's great.
I would have seen him more as the guy that the kid that gets kicked out first.
Chip Tolentino.
Chip Tolentino. I would have seen him
You
more
would
as that.
think,
But hey, I'm not a
but
casting
no.
director. So.
He's a great, versatile chameleon actor.
Yeah, great actor.
Just like Katie.
That's right.
Jacob's too kind to me.
That's
You
true.
were great and lost.
That's true. I don't deserve it. That's pretty much all I had for Nerd Alert. I mean, there's not a
It
lot.
was an excellent nerd alert.
Thank you. I think we all learned something today, and I think it felt good.
We sure
Let's
did.
dive in.
Let's
feel
wrap it
good.
up. Let's head out of here. Good game.
Good game.
See you
Yeah.
guys.
Nerds alerted.
Nerds alerted. I like
Okay.
that.
Now we're
I was sufficiently alerted.
now we're gonna dive in.
I'm so excited that it was an improvised show originally.
Yeah, I think that's why it spoke to you.
Yeah, it really, really did. There were just so many great moments. I watched a different version just because it was a seemingly good quality version.
Sure.
And I was so shocked to see audience members coming up on stage. And I actually initially was like, oh, this is going to be garbage. Like, this is not going to go well at all.
No, it's great.
They really, they figured it out. Like, they really, clearly it's written in there. It seems like it, with enough structure so that the audience can be a part of it, but not like kind of Wild West, do your own thing.
Absolutely.
take over the
There's like
show.
a ton of really fun things that are scripted
Yeah.
to help you with that. And like one of my personal favorites is at the beginning when all the audience members are up there. Like these kids go into this song and dance and they do things to get the audience involved, right? And then they just sort of stop and leave the audience to like try and figure out the dance on their own.
I love
and it's
that.
just just hysterical.
Yeah.
It's so funny. So it's scripted in a way that, like, after this song, an audience member goes up and they have to spell a word wrong.
Sure.
Right? Or, like, by this number, a certain number of audience members should be left. Like, it's indicated in the script. And so they're not really calling people up in any order to assist in that. So you can just keep calling up audience members until one of them gets a word wrong. Well, the guy who was playing Principal Panch in our production is the nicest man on the planet. Admittedly, not really an actor.
Yeah.
And so he got confused on stage.
Perfect. The best place to get confused.
And the audience member, there's certain words that we give audience members that aren't real words.
Yeah.
Right.
So regardless of what they say, you're just like, wrong, out.
Yeah.
And he got confused. It was like, yep, that's correct. And I'm sitting at the piano like, what? No, like that person's supposed to get out and I need to play a song so that way we can go on with the show. But instead he says, yep, that's correct. And then calls up Chip, who's then supposed to spell his word wrong and get out, which signals the end of the act. And then we would have still had an audience member in Act 2, and it was like utter panic on stage. Everyone was like, what? Nope, you called the wrong person. I think maybe you should call this person. And I was like yelling at the band, like, we have to play this song now, and then we have to go back and play this song. And it was just like utter panic. Thank God the lady who played Rona Lisa Peretti was like totally calm and collected and was like, I think I'm going to take over now, and just like totally fixed everything. But that's the scary part about the show is that songs and things can happen in different orders. And if everyone is not like 100% aware of the 100 different ways it could play out, like you can get into a really bad situation.
totally.
Now, is that rehearsed? Like you know, you always think about the worst case scenario in various situations. Do you guys rehearse, like, what if this happens? Like, what if he doesn't go off stage? What if this guy's a complete idiot and decides to stall the show?
I mean, we didn't because we did it in 3 days, which was crazy. But most of the actors had actually done the show before, so had a pretty good concept of it. But it all falls on to the principal to make sure that everything is going according to plan. Because he's the one calling kids up and giving them their words. And if you get someone who's like a spelling whiz, like which happens, and they're just spelling all these words right, that's why the script has those words that are like not real words. But then you also get like, there's like Mexican, you know? And then you get people who spell Mexican wrong. And you're like, oh, okay, here we go. So that's actually harder than, you know, like some of the words are like cow or things that like everyone's going to spell right. So there's like a pre-speech that they give outside to the audience members like, hey, you know, legitimately try your best. Because if you get up there and you're like cow and they're like K-A-W, cow, you're like, well, there goes the show. You know, so.
That was dumb.
So, there is a certain amount of like audience prep that you have to give them. But it's
the woman that got Mexico or Mexican in the show I watched spelled it without the C, and then sat and argued for just a moment that there's no C in the word Mexican.
Oh gosh!
Everyone's just on stage like, how do you function as a human person? At this
Who knows?
juncture?
Who knows?
All right, shall we go through it scene
Let's
for
go
scene?
through it.
All right.
Great.
Starting, of course, with that introduction. Fantastic introduction. And the first word or note that I wrote was, and we've already discussed it, but Leaf Coney Bear. What a name!
They all have such good names.
They do have excellent names throughout.
Right.
Such good names.
That whole trope, and that they keep calling back to Barfay and Barfy. It's so good.
Genius. Genius.
And then I love the line, unlike idiots, we ideate. And that really set the tone for me. Idiot? Whatever I say. Anyway, that really set the tone for the whole music because I was like, okay, so this is like a goofy musical. Like, this isn't like going to be some serious drama, which I hope I assumed beforehand, but set the tone.
You never know.
Yeah.
Makes it fun.
Yeah.
When they say Mitch Mahoney gets stuck in my head all the damn time. It's like on repeat.
You're just on the train and you're like,
Mitch
Mahoney.
Mitch.
Periodically throughout the rest of this podcast, not this one, but all the rest of the episodes.
It'll be a little like pineapple on site.
I'll bust that out. But no, solid introduction. So I wrote like maybe they couldn't really figure out when to stop the song. It seemed I was totally fine with it. I even wrote, I'm totally fine with this. But it kind of just like they did like a verse, and they were like, well, actually one more verse. Like introduced everyone, and then they continued on. I don't know. You guys didn't feel that way?
I think.
It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me either.
No?
When
No.
you're watching it, anyways. If you were listening to it, I'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
But like,
Time to
there's a
wrap
lot
up.
of action, I think, happening.
Totes.
This is also from someone who just can't stand much longer than like a minute and a half music in a musical. So
That's fair.
yeah, but no, strong,
It's also
strong,
not very
opening.
fair.
Super fair. He said it's fair. It's fair.
It's fair.
All
Just
right.
don't see musicals then.
Well,
Shucks. We
end
really
of
found
this
ourselves in a
podcast.
pickle here.
So you didn't watch this version, but I just want to talk about Logan's hair
Oh my
for a
gosh.
second, because it's I don't know what it looked like in the version you watched, but it's the greatest hair that has ever been done on stage. Like, that hair design
Agreed.
is so funny.
And she like plays
so
with it
intuitive,
throughout, right?
and
She's
just
like,
like touching
What?
it.
What?
Did you
Just,
see it?
is
Let
it
me
like?
Google
Is it like the pigtails or
It's
whatever?
the pigtails that are like at the top of the head, and then they're braided, so they come down in front of her face.
So
heck?
So like two little braided pigtails, like
Like a '90s emo kid or something?
no. She's like, young and
Yeah, no, I know
spry.
that, but
And
it's
she's
like
blonde
normal
in the show.
pigtails, just like oddly placed.
They're just braided like in the front.
And she just like plays with them.
They're so weird. I've never seen anything else like it. It's the greatest thing in the universe.
It's pretty good.
I feel like they just made absurd decisions all throughout this show. And
Well, I think
love
Oh,
so.
for
Especially
sure.
because she was
So
one of the
good.
improvisers with him, so she was like, I'm gonna do the fucking
it.
craziest hair.
Whatever I want. Did
For comedy.
Leaf Coney Bear wear a cape in your version?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, yeah,
it's
he
like a
usually
thing.
wears a cape.
But I love
There
that
might be
that's
a
written
line
in.
about it, yeah.
Leaf should be wearing a cape.
Oh my gosh. So
Leaf.
funny.
His name's
Leaf, that's what I'm
So
saying.
funny.
That's so good. And how cool. So let's transition into Leaf Coney Bear.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know what happened in yours, but in the
Sorry.
Broadway show, when the lighting switches, I think Leaf Coney Bear is the first one that has the parents, like it switches to them playing the parents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the whole family, right?
Yeah. And I think that's so cool how they did it. How it's like the kids like can just like switch and turn into adults,
Yeah.
and like very seamlessly, and you just like get little glimpses of their lives, and just like a lighting switch, and like the whole world can change. I think that's like really great theater when that can happen.
Yeah, you've got to imagine that was a costuming decision to equip these people with something that made them look like a kid, and then just change something really quickly, and now you can look like an adult.
Totally.
Yeah.
Pretty strategic. Nicely done. A point for pageantry.
Theater magic.
What else about the intro, or whatever else?
I don't have anything else about the
That's
intro.
all I've got.
I think it just wonderfully sets up the show. Like
It
you were
does.
saying, it gives a really
great
good,
job.
a really good idea of like what I'm about to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
I also loved. So I actually looked at the first couple of seconds of a couple of versions of this, and whether you had the scene was like an entire gymnasium with like scoreboards and bleachers, or in the full version I watched, which was literally just like a desk and chairs sort of stacked, I didn't lose a single thing from it. Like it's just such a bare bones, simple. The show does itself justice. It doesn't need the whole scene.
For
It's
sure.
really awesome.
For
Really
sure.
cool that they did that.
Yeah, it's definitely not a show that's like a big spectacle. It's just funny because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's good because it's good.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't need a big set or big lights, and I love that.
Yeah, a testament to its improv roots.
Ooh,
Boom.
truth and comedy.
For sure.
The other note that I put here, and I think we've kind of said it a little bit, is just the characterization that they're able to produce with these kids. You mentioned that they can be played by any type of person, shape, size, gender, whatever. And I think that's probably because the characters are, I use written in air quotes, but written so well, at least described so well.
Yeah, I agree. They're described in their quirkiness and their personalities, and not in their physical appearance or ethnicity. I think a lot of times people cast like is it Marcy Park, who speaks 6 languages? A lot of times she's Asian, because that's like a
okay.
stereotype. Like, my parents are really hard on me, and I'm super smart.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. When we did the production, we had my wonderful friend Emily Nash, who's very white and very Jewish.
Very white
And she was like, this is like my family. My Jewish parents were like, you have to do good in school. You know, it makes sense. Like,
Yeah, it works.
It doesn't, yeah. I love that the characters are so well written in terms of their personalities and their quirkiness.
Was that the new Lady Gaga song? Just drove by. You know, Lady Gaga, when she released who knows, one of her songs. She drove through Boys Town blasting it from her car
I love
before
that.
it was released by anyone. So maybe it's
Mother
happening right
Monster.
now.
Okay, drive on.
You guys
Is
want to
that
check to
you,
see if that's
Gaga?
Lady Gaga?
This is Boys Town, right? It looks like it out my window.
We're not
There's
far.
gay people everywhere.
Everywhere. I'm only like
Everything is right.
5 blocks away.
Get out of the street.
Could you shut up?
You have to record a podcast, sir.
Block party starting now.
Surprise! When's your birthday? It's a surprise birthday block party.
You're only like 8 months off, so
You know, I got close.
solid.
Can't expect me to get closer than that. We just met.
That's true.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
There we go. Back to
Please
it.
continue.
What were we talking about?
Oh, man.
I love that the characters are written so well. The end.
Oh, man.
No, it's really fantastic, and I think we're gonna keep. I have a couple of like qualms and bumps to pick with the show, and we're gonna
No,
keep brooding over
it's
it. Though.
perfect. It's
well,
flawless.
I want you to refute them. That's
Good,
what
I
Katie
will.
does.
That's
so.
my job here, is to tell him that he's wrong. Always.
Nerd alert.
Nerd
Bitch, my homie. Okay.
Leave
So
it
the
in.
dictionary
Ow.
song
So the dictionary
So the
song.
dictionary
is the
That's next.
cutest little I want, I wish song in the universe, like of musicals.
Olive
It's
is a super cute
so
character.
good. It's so beautiful. Just like
Yeah.
how she thinks of words, and it's gorgeous.
I think it really sets Olive apart from everyone else
Oh,
too.
hell yeah.
Yeah, it's just lovely.
She's really just like I wrote the note later on, although it comes to fruition in the dictionary song as well. She's just an adorable character.
She is.
She's just like
She's so wonderful.
she doesn't do anything wrong.
All
She's
these
just hanging
awful
out.
sure.
things are happening.
She's
We'll
so
get to that later,
innocent
but
and-
yeah,
yeah.
she's just like still got such a good heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Just so wonderful.
Let's take a moment to listen to the dictionary song.
Yes,
love
please.
to.
Trotsky. The word is philanthropy.
Oh, wait, 1 second, please. Ma'am, could you not sit in that seat?
So
I
sad.
said...
Also, just,
It really
she's
is
like,
nice.
I have no shame. Like,
Yeah.
why would I be sad
Right.
to say the word toilet? I would never be.
No.
Like, this is who I am, and I'm presenting it to you.
Exactly.
This is truth.
Exactly.
And it's just such like a delightful background, like springtime ballad kind of going on in the background.
For sure.
Like it
Even the
belongs
guys
in,
are like, she's such a lovely girl.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she is.
that song belongs in Oklahoma, but without those lyrics, I think. Just the song, just the music.
Just the music of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the
Yeah, I
pro-choice
can see
joke
that.
is funny. Like, it's all great.
Yeah.
I'm still a virgin. Yeah, probably she's 8. Like, I hope so.
Right? Still a version. Wait, aren't you like in 6th grade?
Yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that.
I'm not judging anyone, but
Well, I think medically that's something you should
it's
avoid
not great to do.
for our baby listeners at home.
True.
I can't remember. Is it in My Friend the Dictionary that she talks about? Because I love this line so much. Nietzsche being the great grandfather of Christina Ricci.
Yeah.
Yes. And then she laughs at her own joke.
Yeah.
It's
It's so
so
cute.
Yeah. Yeah.
What an absurd line. It's just like, and you would, if you didn't listen to every word of this show, you would miss that line.
For
You
sure.
wouldn't even
Yeah.
notice that it was
For sure.
there.
It just furthers her like love for words and wordplay. And it's
It's so
just
good.
so fun and
And
funny.
she's like, she's so smart, but she's also like still a young girl. Like she knows
Yeah.
who Nietzsche and Christina Ricci are.
Right.
Right.
Like
Which I
That's so
did
great.
Google. They aren't related.
they're not.
No.
No, as an Amazon
But it's a
trivia
funny joke.
fact. They're not related.
No. No.
Oh man. Yeah. So this is actually the moment right after this, is that I realized, and maybe it's sad for me to say that they were actually improving things. Like it was. She said she invited one of the audience members. They were already on stage, and she invited her to read a word, and she said, whatever her name, Samantha, she stole her boots from a clown. I was like, wait a minute. And you look down and she has these hideous maroon boots on.
Yes.
That was improv. That was improvised. It was awesome.
One of my favorite ones. I don't know if it's written in the script or just something that our Rhoda came up with, but it's like, I think she actually said it. Well, she might have said it for audience members some nights, but it would be like, Katie is one piece short of eating an entire puzzle. Just like weird stuff like that is so good.
Incredible.
My favorite is recovering from head lice.
I really liked Leaf Coney Bear makes his own clothes. It was really good.
Poor guy.
Yeah, that's just
He's
such.
proud of that cape.
Yeah, he sure is. That's such a fantastic piece to add to the show because it's so simple
Yeah.
too. It's almost foolproof because she can sit there and like write these things down. If you have a character who's nervous about that, or an
Right,
actor
right.
who's nervous about improvising, and the day of the show, when she sees the audience members come up, she can start writing that down.
For sure.
It's just so nice to see, like, them break the fourth wall, sort of, not really, but they're kind of, yeah, they kind of do.
I also think that is a huge reason why the show was so successful, is because it includes the audience so much. You know, you're with the audience member up there, feeling like a part of it, and you know, you can tease them too about eating an entire puzzle or like whatever it is. You know, it becomes more of an inclusive environment than just like watching a story, which I think is so unique and so well implemented into the show.
Yeah, it absolutely is. I'm ashamed to admit that I just know myself so well, and I would hate myself afterward that I would be the asshole on the audience member that came up and like, no, I'm going to steal the show and say something really funny.
Daniel.
And then I'd be like, damn it.
It wasn't funny.
It was stupid. It was a stupid thing.
It was a dick move.
And everyone here hates you now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be me, and that's just who I am.
Every single human.
That's fine. You do you.
At least I know it.
Yeah.
You know,
Be
I
proud.
accept it. 1/10 of a dong. Did you guys get that line?
No, what's that?
Fantastic line. It came right after this. They had to spell the word how, I think. It's like H-A-O or something. And the definition is a how is 1/10 of a dong.
Yes.
As in currency. And then they say, the man once said, "With my dong, I will feed my family." It was so good. It was,
I kind of feel like I remember that actually.
yeah, it was really what a well-written line. I didn't do it
So
justice
good.
at all because they talk about building 10 houses. Anyway, excellent line.
Excellent.
Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
Barfy.
Lugubrious.
Parfait. I like
Fantastic. Fantastic word for someone with
Oh, of
sinus
course.
issues.
I know what this is.
Guacamole is one of the words, and it says guacamole, the Mexican pudding. It's so good.
Yes.
I love that line. And then one of the improvised lines, there was an older man that was the audience member, and Rona says, "Mr. Shedding is prematurely gray for a 10-year-old." So good. And then the last one, the word is cow, and they say, "Can you use it in a sentence?" And the vice principal goes, "Please spell cow." It's really good.
Please spell cow.
Can't argue with that.
The sentences are so good.
So good.
All right, so enough of those, unless you guys have others. I
Back
won't
to
bring any more.
Barfait.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
Is it P or is it B?
B.
It is B. Okay, because I wasn't sure the whole time.
But I will say, on that note, they do a great job of introducing each of the characters in the show. And
Yeah,
like,
they
it's
do.
really quick. It's not too long, but you like get a great introduction. Like they come up and spell, and like you get to know them fairly quickly, and you know who they are fairly quickly.
I wonder if that's a product of
And
the
you're on
fact that
their
they
side.
get the spotlight for a moment. Like I feel
totally.
like it's rare, at least in the few shows that I've seen, that you get a moment where they're just exclusively in the
Yeah,
spotlight.
like this
you
is
know?
my time.
And in different ways too, like Leaf. You know, they have that light change, and you see his family as opposed to
Yeah.
And I also think that the characters, the sort of backstories that they gave them, were also legitimately applicable. Like, yeah, my parents pushed me too hard, or I just kind of fell into this, or you know, all these different.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good. There's a diversity
or I
in
love this a
backstory.
lot, you know?
Or I just really love doing this. Yeah.
It's
Nicely
great.
done.
It's great.
Pandemonium.
Such a
great
good
song.
song.
Great song. Love is pandemonium.
Yeah,
That's
life
what it
is
is.
random and unfair.
Life is pandemonium. That was my favorite song to play for sure. It's just like so fun and just flies by and it just became pandemonium on stage.
Seriously.
And to still have audience members on stage at the same time,
Ringing around
to just
the
watch
room.
them be like, "What is happening?" It's hysterical.
Am I supposed to be doing something I don't understand?
Oh my gosh.
It's
In
awesome.
the
So
Broadway,
funny.
they like hook them by the arm and like force them to
Yeah. We actually had
like,
like
we're dancing now.
we had so ours was just like a set of risers and then a desk for the announcers to sit, but the risers would like spin around, and there was also like a rope, like in a gym, you know,
Use
they
that
have a
gym
rope
rope.
climb that would like fall down, and during pandemonium people were like swinging back and forth and like someone would just literally yell at the audience members like, "Duck and don't stand up until I tell you to stand up," and they would like swing over top of them.
so good.
It was always terrifying. Like, what happens if someone's like, what did you say?" And I get clocked in the head. Oh, so good.
That's so great about this show that, like, that you can just make shit up.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
If it sort of fits with the theme of the musical, do it. Put a rope on stage.
Right?
Yeah, they're in a gym.
Yeah.
Use
It fits.
the space.
Use the space.
Explore.
It's
great.
awesome. I'm learning more and more about this show even after saying it. It's just continuously solidifying.
It's so good.
just an
So
excellent
good.
show. Excellent show.
So good.
Which is actually the very next note after Pandemonium is a great song is, this is just fun. Everyone's having fun on stage and I'm having fun. Is what I wrote down. So,
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun too.
It's about a joy in my dim life.
Too real.
Oh no, the sadness. Okay, but right after this, you meet Logan's dads,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and it's great.
Did they have names in the show that you watched?
I don't know.
Yes.
She called her dads in the show I watched, Dan Dad and Carl Dad.
Yes. Yeah.
So
So
good.
I don't know which one goes with which also,
Yeah.
but it's like Dan Schwartz and Carl Grubenier. And so her last
yeah.
name is Schwartz and Grubenier, but it's just Schwartz and Grubenier.
Schwartz and Ruben.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Clever.
It's really funny, actually.
yeah.
Not to
Instead of a hyphen.
Yeah, is it? Oh, it's not a hyphen. It's like
No.
an EN.
And
It's A-N-D. Yeah, it's literally Schwartz A-N-D Grubenier.
That's so good.
Schwartz and
it's like
Grubenier.
the funniest way to make fun of hyphenated names.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
They play so well with those two characters who they kept like fussing over her hair or like
Yeah.
how she should hold herself. But this was a moment. One of the bones I have to pick with the show. In the one I watched, and admittedly it's probably not with the show. It's just the version that I watched. Dan Dad was wearing an apron and was like clearly the effeminate one in like a flowery apron. I was like,
True.
okay, like they can just be two dads. Like you don't have to make one mom dad and one dad. I don't know. I felt weird about it.
Okay, that's fair. That's
Every
fair.
couple's different.
I get it. But they clearly like were like let's get the most archetypical or the most stereotypical version of two dad. Family.
Sure. I feel like
Maybe
some of
not.
that is implied in the script
Okay.
with the lines that they say, but also, yes, I hear what you're saying. Also, this was 2005.
Fair.
Different time.
Fair. Even in introducing two dads in 2005.
Sure.
Maybe a
Sure.
good thing. Yeah.
Sure.
I think also get over yourself and stop picking bones that don't have any
Sure.
business being picked.
I
That's what
mean-
you're trying to say to me.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not offended by a man wearing an apron.
I wasn't offended by it. It was just like,
I mean, no, I
huh.
get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Huh, what a weird choice.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Do you think it's a weird choice? I think when you're baking, you have to wear an apron.
But it was like a clearly, like,
I think.
He is
Feminine.
definitely the more motherly one.
But what
the
does
fact
that
he's
mean?
wearing an
Like, what is motherly? What is femininity?
I guess.
I
me
don't know
even-
anymore.
Me even
Who
mentioning
defines
it.
these gender roles?
Gender
Daniel?
neutrality. Gender's a spectrum.
Exactly.
Yeah, it calls into question my own
Exactly.
feminism, even the fact that I brought it up. So,
Yep.
Look
boom.
inside
I'm
yourself.
questioning everything now.
25th
What is
annual
life?
Putnam County Spelling Bee, making me
Oh,
feel like an
boy.
idiot.
Next week you should have a psychologist and you should just talk this through.
Maybe we should.
Maybe we should shift the theme of the show.
We just go to therapy.
These therapy sessions.
We just record our therapy sessions. Put them on iTunes.
I'd listen.
That would be kind of like a really good art piece if you like recorded your therapy
That's
sessions
true.
and then
Also,
put them on
maybe-
like YouTube.
Yeah, you'd have to be really confident in who
You
you
have to
were
be really
as a
confident,
person.
but I feel like that's like the future of modern art. I feel because we're sharing everything on social media. So
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that idea and market it for millions. So thank you.
you'll be a very famous artist.
That's right.
Thank you.
No,
that-
thank you. I don't know.
You
So
guys-
next we have Tony Bear, and he gets the coochie word, and it's so cute.
A coochie.
Oh yeah.
A coochie.
coochie.
You said that as a spelling bee.
He's so great.
And he forgets what it is. Yeah, so like,
Yeah,
so cute.
that scene, they really captured the inner workings of the mind with ADD.
No,
Just like, we're gonna, I'm
Smart
gonna
is
go over
like the
here. I'm
cutest
gonna go.
song. It's
Also,
so
he
cute.
keeps getting like weird mammals, right?
He gets
Yeah.
the thing out of his pocket. Is that what you mean?
No, like the words he
Oh,
gets
yeah,
are
are weird, like,
all
South
like
American
weird
mammals.
South American mammals. It's funny, like we said earlier, Barfy gets the words that like lugubrious,
Yeah.
which are probably hard for him to say.
Yeah.
This sign is
And Leaf Coney Bear always gets weird mammals. Logan Schwartz and Grubenier, who has a lisp, always gets words with S's. I love it.
Yeah. Really
Smart
well done.
writing. But I'm Not That Smart is like such a great song.
It's so
so
sad.
great. It's very sad.
So sad.
What a great portrayal of like a mental disability, like learning disability, and like I feel like I'm dumb even though like I'm not. It's just my brain works different.
Ooh.
Do you feel?
Yeah.
For sure.
I felt that.
I have lots to say about Leaf Cody Bear, but I'll reserve it for the end.
think so?
I love him so much.
I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
I love the moment where he gets it right, and he's like, "Oh, I
I
might
did?
be smart." You know? It's like,
Yeah.
oh wait,
So cute.
Good job.
Yes, you are. It's so great. In the version we watched with Jesse Tyler Ferguson too, doing it, like he's so freaking talented. Like his physicality is so specific. Like even just like he blinks longer. Like when he's thinking, it's like every like detail
Got the
he
nuance
thought
of it
about.
all.
It's just so cool to watch.
yeah,
So good.
That character, I feel like you can be lazy about that character and
Oh yeah, and it's
And
still like cute.
it's fine and it's like good, but you can make that character just look like fantastic.
agreed.
The one that the Leaf and
Well,
the one I watched was
exactly.
good, not great. At some point, Leaf, they're focused away from Leaf, so
Right.
we're not on him. We're on
Someone's spelling.
whoever else is spelling, and all of a sudden you just see Leaf
He like
tumble off the chair, and then everyone kind of looks at him and goes, "I fell,"
yes.
That is true.
and he sits down and puts on a bike helmet. It's so great.
Oh, I remember
Yes.
that. That's
Just
later.
in case it happens
That's later.
again. Is it later? Dang.
That's
Yeah.
okay. It's really golden.
It was so good. As soon as we started talking about Leaf, I thought about that moment. It's such a great
I
scene.
felt. Yes, you did, dude. They're all so honest. It's great.
Yeah.
Like kids that age are.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and then an audience member leaves. Goodbye.
Mhm.
Love the goodbye song, by the way. That like anytime anyone says goodbye, I sing that song in my head.
that's how we're ending the podcast for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah. For
Oh.
the rest of time.
I hope to play that in my head every time someone leaves now. That'd be such a nice way, because parting is such sweet sorrow after all.
But when Olive gets up and they do like the girls versus boys, and they make their like gender statement.
Yeah.
That was cute to talk about, and again, like 2005, that was like before anyone was really talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
In a mainstream way, I feel.
Yeah, and they kind of merged them back together. Like, boys are this way, girls are that way. But also sometimes girls are the same way as the boys were, and boys are the same way as the girls were. They kind of brought it all back around.
I forgot about that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cute to comment on.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, they did a nice job with that, for sure. Because, yeah, initially I thought the same thing. I was like, prescribing to gender norms.
And they were
And
like,
they're like, no, we aren't.
we tricked
You
you.
big dummy.
Psych.
You're a big dummy,
Big
audience.
idiot.
And then, audience. And then we get the big Parfait song.
Yeah.
Big time.
My
Magic
left
foot.
Big magic foot.
My left foot.
Nope.
Magic feet, magic foot.
Yeah.
Magic foot.
For some reason on the Spotify soundtrack they call it magic feet. It's only about a single foot though. Yeah.
He definitely says foot.
Yeah, it's a single foot.
Spotify, we need to tweet them and tell
We
them
do.
to fix their
Spotify
mistake.
fix your
On
shit.
it. For those of you at home, I'm tweeting right now.
Hashtag Spotify fix your shit.
Spotify fix your shit 2016.
Yeah, let's talk about Magic Foot.
I love in numbers like this. I'm just gonna talk about it more. I love how like the whole cast gets up and dances. Like I love the support from
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Like they're just like kids having fun, and it's just great that like the whole cast, even though it's him spelling and they're competing, like they can all dance and have fun, even on his song.
Yeah.
At least in the Broadway production.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know, they did the same thing, and they made it like almost sort of like swingy. And there was some reason why the men didn't make as much sense to be dancing, so they just made them lay on the ground and kick their feet up and down for the
Yeah.
whole number. It's really nicely done.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It has one of my favorite musical direction things
What does it say?
Well said.
in the history of the world. And it is wacky vibrato. So instead of magic foot, it's wacky vibrato, magic foot.
That was wacky, dude.
That was
I just love that, like, that's a specific note that the composer was like, I really want wacky
Needs to be
vibrato. Ugh.
You've really nailed the wackiness
Yeah,
factor
I-
too, the whack
I-
factor.
I practiced for like a solid year on that.
I think you could
It was a
nail
class I
too.
took in college, wacky vibrato. So
So first, Chip.
Yeah, but I feel like
Oh,
we need to
boy.
all have a moment of silence
R.I.P.
for the greatest song,
For the boner.
the greatest song ever written in a musical.
Well, it's not the song yet.
You're right. Sorry. Just the erection.
Just the event.
Yeah.
But I like how they set it up because first he like asks Honeyberry, he's like, "Is that your sister Marigold in the
Yeah.
star?" And then when he gets up to, he's like, "Hi Marigold."
They make a Harry Potter reference in mine, so I was like, yep,
Oh.
I love this show.
What was the?
He says like, oh, she looks like Molly Weasley's daughter. I think he couldn't think of Ginny Weasley, but it's okay. Great reference.
Get out of the street.
I'm
Don't worry,
sorry.
it's just some bros.
Please leave now.
Yeah. Shut your mouth and the door.
Please rebrocate.
Hey,
Good.
you did that wordplay and you did it well.
Just made it up.
That's improv, baby.
Ah, hey, yeah.
Wow, you guys are
Wacky
good.
vibrato.
That's what we learned at Second City.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that. I haven't taken a class at Second City yet, so I'm sorry. I'm not at your level.
You know, not everyone
And
can
you'll
be.
never be.
Let's talk more about erections.
Okay.
All right.
I've
got one right
he gets
now.
the word tit up.
Tit
Which
up.
is so mean.
Tit.
Tit.
What a stupid word. And it's not even technically a word. It's an onomatopoeia like wham or pop.
Tits.
So good.
Tit up. The sound of a horse galloping. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Tit-top. Tit-top.
Tit up, tit up, tit up.
This poor boy.
It's like such a dad joke, such a dad moment. There were a few moments in the show where I was like, this seems like a dad was sick of watching The Music Man over and over again at his 4th grade kids show, and so wrote his own show, and was like, here, you guys are going to do this.
I love dad jokes, which is maybe why I love this show so much.
Maybe it's filled with them. It's riddled with
I
them.
think just giving the kid a boner is like,
So good.
dads think that's fun.
Does that bring us to Act 3? Yeah, because they take the snack break. Oh no, we haven't even talked about the...
Tit up, and then Chip gets eliminated, and
Yep.
then Mitch Mahoney
Yep.
sings to him.
Prayer of
and
the
as
comfort counselor.
Pain has degrees line, which I think is so great.
What is
Where
it?
he's like, this is a spelling bee, like this means nothing.
Right, sure.
And I know like you're devastated, but like
Here's a juice box.
you have not had a hard life.
Yeah.
Right.
That was actually one of my hashtag ideas. What did
But
make
the
the cut?
phrase "pain has degrees" like stuck with me. I thought that was pretty.
It's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Pain does that.
Thank you for validating me. And then I think this maybe like has got to happen at least once every show because it's so funny. But for one of the audience members next, the person asked for a definition, and the guy was like, "The definition is unknown."
They did that.
Yes.
So fun.
Yes.
They did that. That was one of the ones. The guy who was amazing at spelling. They gave him like a weird Irish word, and they said the definition is unknown. And then the dude spelled it correctly.
So actually, one of those is scripted.
Yeah.
So like they give them a weird word that
Oh,
I think is like I don't know if it's made up or not, but they give them a word that's supposed to be like impossible, and then you're like, what? Which, regardless of whether they spell it right or not, as long as it's like relatively close,
Yeah.
you're supposed to be like, what? And then they sit down, and the joke is you just call them right back up again. So
That's
that is
exactly what they did.
that is like scripted.
Man,
Yes.
I just went right along with it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think it's
That's
a
a good
really
bit.
yeah, it's a really funny bit.
Yeah.
That, you know, the audience definitely thinks like, "Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. What are they going to do?"
Right,
And then
right.
the joke is we just call them back up and give them an even more ridiculous word.
And that's how we're gonna deal with the situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good. Okay, now's your time to shine.
The song itself is a fantastic song, but there's no in this earth or any earth that will be, there will never be a better title of a song than My Unfortunate Erection.
Yes.
It's just got so many layers.
Do you think so?
So
It's like one there.
No, it could mean so many things.
I guess.
It could be an unfortunate moment. It could
think,
be
like,
just a
guys-
sad boner.
I think guys like find a lot more meaning about this song than I would.
You've never had an
Oh.
erection.
I've never had a boner, so
Never?
well,
Oh,
once, but I don't remember it. I was
Wow.
asleep.
yeah.
So
fair.
I was
Fair.
just told about it later at summer
Sure.
camp.
Like, hey, you got a boner.
Like Hal woke me up and was like, "You got a boner last night," and I was like, "That's so weird."
It was a very weird
Let's
conversation.
go swim in the river.
Oh,
And
let's
we
go
did.
swim in
It
the
was
river.
summer camp. Yeah.
Naked. All right.
No. We were clothed.
Oh.
Don't put that on me.
Okay.
This has
Sorry.
gone somewhere.
Anyway,
And I didn't intend for it
Jacob,
to
what do you
go
want
there.
say?
So when I first found out that this theater company I worked for was doing Spelling Bee, I didn't know anything about the show. And the guy was like trying to give me a hint. And he was like, let's just say My Unfortunate Erection. And I was like, what?
What about
Is it Rent? Is it? I don't. He's like, no, it's not a show that would give me an unfortunate erection. It's the name of one of the songs. I was like, oh, I have no idea.
I like that initially you felt as though you were being sexually harassed to some
I'm
degree.
so sorry.
I'm so, what?
Excuse me.
Yeah, I
don't
had
want to
no
know about
idea.
your sack owner.
Did I hear
Yep.
correctly?
It's just it's an excellent name for a song, and it's a great song.
Yeah,
it's
it
a
is.
great song. It's a song
really
about a
fun.
man, a kid singing about his
Poor guy.
probably first erection.
And
There
then-
is, I forget the words, but like there is also a kid-friendly version, which is
my
not
gosh.
nearly as satisfying.
Hey.
My
What are the
happy
words?
fun
My-
time. My happy fun stick.
I forget what it is. Oh, it's like My Unfortunate Distraction.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mental distraction.
bummer.
yeah. Not nearly as fun.
Unfortunate protuberance.
Yeah, they had a lot of euphemisms for the male phallus.
It's so great.
Also, so he's handing out snacks,
Yeah.
right? We performed one day for the theater school, the theater camp that was happening, and it's like 3rd through high school, so there's a lot of young kids.
Ooh,
And
whoops.
so we did My Unfortunate Distraction.
Ah.
They didn't give a shit about the song. They were like, what? He's handing out snacks. It was like them screaming. It's the closest thing I'll ever feel to being at a Justin Bieber concert. It was insane. I actually couldn't hear him singing, and he couldn't hear me playing.
Oh,
So we
great.
were like just aimlessly going, and then about halfway through, they like died out, and we were in 2 completely different spots.
It's perfect. And no one noticed because
Right.
they were eating their Chex Mix.
Right.
and
We
Skittles.
probably could have been talking about penises the whole time, and those kids wouldn't have had the
No
slightest
idea.
idea. It would have been like, what?
I see a chewy chocolate bar there, and that's all I want.
Right? You've got Reese's Pieces? I want some of those.
Call me
Like,
a
Piece of
Tea.
that.
Hey.
yeah, didn't matter.
But yeah, a fantastic way to enter the third act, right?
No,
Second
second
act?
act.
Yeah,
It's just
second
2
act.
acts.
Yep.
Just two.
Okay.
Yep.
So the second act, I don't know. I'm not great with the acts.
It's okay.
It's okay. We love you still.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Olive is super nice and cute with Parfait.
Yeah.
What a sweet little
Oh
mom.
yeah, he throws the peanut M&Ms at him, right? Is that this?
Yeah. Chip and he like get in a fight, and then Olive tries to make Parfait
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
And he immediately is just an asshole and said, I don't, olives don't do well for me or something like that. Olives are disgusting. You guys didn't get that one?
Yeah.
He says,
She was like,
They
I
don't sit
love,
well with
and then
me.
he's like, I don't love. I don't know. He likes her. It's hard to express her feelings sometimes.
Especially in middle school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Probably now though for me too.
Especially in adulthood.
even worse.
Oh, but what a sweetie pea she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just mention herself.
Do we go into and I may be skipping too far ahead. I don't think we do, but is this the fast forward and the slow down? Or am I too far ahead?
Maybe.
Woe is me is first.
Oh, woe is
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Is my jam.
What about me, dads?
What about me? Jesus Christ.
I don't know why she's talking to America, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's
don't
like
know.
she thinks she's at a Miss America
Oh,
pageant.
right.
It's amazing.
She is already at the national
She's already-
competition
yeah.
in her brain.
She's already like running for president. in her brain.
Well, she's the one, her dad's like, push her hard and train her and like, you know.
Totally.
So she's like ready for it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what's
And then she loses.
which is why I gotta win this battle.
Be smart, be cool, be an adult, be remarkably adroit in social situations.
So good.
You just really nailed that.
Such a good song.
That's
Well,
really
I didn't know all the
great
words,
moment.
but Jacob.
Yeah, it's good.
Have you guys seen this before, the show before?
I
No.
actually haven't seen the whole thing. I've listened to the soundtrack a ton. Like I know most of the words in it. I've listened to it
Oh,
so
you-
much, but I've never seen the
I
show.
thought you were being sarcastic.
No, I've never seen the show before.
I was being completely sarcastic because
Oh.
you just knew all the words.
I've
I've
listened
definitely,
to it a lot, but I've never seen it.
I've seen it a lot because
Other
I
than
played
now.
it.
Other than just right now,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So this was cool for me too. I know like the story and stuff, but I didn't know the.
Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff.
It's hella good stuff.
Hella good.
But Woe Is Me, great song.
Yeah.
Great song. And then the fast forward and the slow mo.
Which I
Yes.
love.
So smart.
Hysterical.
So good.
So good.
And the way
Hysterical.
that they got more high pitched as the fast forward
Yep.
took place. It was
Yep.
like, yep, nailed it. And then they got lower tones.
Yep.
Man, just so well done.
Yeah, that was probably the hardest part to MD
Sure.
Just as far as like timing and everything was complicated, but when it all lines up perfectly, it's so effective and so funny.
Yeah, I can imagine there were a lot of frustrating moments where you're like, this is not going to work. Like, you guys just aren't getting this, and I'm not
Right.
getting it.
It's actually written for like the entire band to like play things and do things, and it was so complicated, and we had like, 5 hours left of rehearsal before we opened, and I was like, great, I'm going to take your drumsticks here and do this by myself with me and a piano. And it was really effective, but like it's complicated and hard to line up, but it's such a great moment that I didn't want to
Such a cool
screw it up.
bit too. I'm always so curious about like how they come up, like why you come up with these things, like why at that moment did they decide to do a fast forward and a rewind. It's just such an interesting piece to add to the show. It's not, it doesn't fit with the overall theme of the show, which is fine. Like, it's totally fine, but it's just like, we're gonna do this.
I think
Sure.
it's just a smart way to show
Yeah.
time passing.
Yeah,
For sure, definitely.
because they show time passing quite a bit in the show by just like the kids will walk up and say one word, which is it implies that they just spelled the word
Yeah,
correctly.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And then, I guess maybe
For
that's
sure.
why. Maybe they were like, we can't do this again.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
let's think of a
Yeah,
cooler
I
way
think
to
if in Act 2 it again was just kids getting up and spelling a
Yeah.
word and them giving a definition and the same shtick for another whole act, it would be like, oh, why am I at this
Right,
theater?
right. Enough of
And
this.
I
Yeah.
think they solved that problem really well by breaking it up by doing
Yeah.
funny things like that. Yeah.
Totes.
Yeah.
Totes. So smart. That's why they want a Tony.
Absolutely.
And then
Oh.
Bear.
Then I was just gonna
Oh,
say,
sorry.
You
No,
wait.
Go.
I was gonna go into what you were just saying.
Oh,
Leaf Coney Bear.
Leaf Coney Bear.
Not that smart
Replay.
reprise.
Hell yeah.
I'm not that smart.
I
Yeah.
felt like the start of that song should have been a John Legend song.
Why?
It's like
What?
slowly piano.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's kind of just like shouting a little bit.
for sure.
Not shouting, but I love that song because to me, Leaf is the only one that really gets it here. He fails and he's like, you know what? I had fun while I was here.
I'm smart and I learned that today and that was a good lesson and goodbye.
And see you guys later. I don't really care that much.
I love that you find, like, you say Leaf Coney Bear's the only one that really gets it. When really, I don't think he gets anything that's happening.
He does.
But in
He falls
that,
off the stage.
but in him not knowing what's happening,
He knows everything.
he lives a very wonderful life.
Absolutely.
That
Ignorance
I,
is bliss.
Cool,
yeah,
yeah.
Ignorance
exactly,
is
exactly.
bliss.
Well
Yeah.
said. Well
Yeah,
said.
he just gets what's important.
Yeah.
It's perfect. And I don't know if they did this in yours, but this is like the best moment of the entire show for me. Just the subtle moments. He gets his juice box and he's kind of like in the middle of his song. He's trying to open it and he can't open it and he goes and hands it to the judges. Or
That's
he
really
finishes
cute.
his song
That was
while
intense.
The judge opens sticks the straw through his juice box.
That's an amazing bit.
It was like, yeah,
That's very-
yes, that's
that's
perfect.
very
You nailed this.
You
Yeah.
did nail it.
Fantastic
It's
scene.
very funny.
So good.
Then we go into I Speak 6 Languages, right?
Yes,
Such a fun song.
Slow
it
starter.
is very fun.
That's the song that, like, when this musical came out, all the girls in my class wanted to sing at the cabaret.
Right,
Oh,
Like,
really?
this was, like,
Yeah.
the one that, like, every girl wanted to do.
right.
Yeah.
Because it's a song essentially about showing off.
Yeah, it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm so cool and I
I'm
can
great at
belt
this.
and I'm, like, here
Yeah.
and I
I'm
can, like,
amazing.
do little bits in the audition room and you're gonna, like, love me.
Yeah,
And it's a great song, it's very fun. But this
It
is
is
the one
very
that, like, everyone wanted.
yeah.
They defined a like know-it-all, good at everything person really well. Like the line where she says, "Excelling at athletics is simple when you think about it," or something, and things like that. It's like, fuck you. Those people who are just good at everything. Like,
Right.
God, shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a good job of defining that.
Yep.
And then in my show, it sounds like in the show you guys watched, she tap danced.
Just for a second.
Okay.
Yeah,
She doesn't
it's
have
like one of the
tattoos.
things
Oh, okay.
that she's good at.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she
yeah.
does like a time step or whatever
Sure.
it is. She does the
Yeah.
splits. She
Yeah.
tangos.
She
yeah.
played the saxophone in mine.
Really?
Was that a
see,
thing? She did a
in
good job with it too.
that, I suppose you could add it in, but it's actually written in the score that she comes over and plays the piano,
Oh, okay.
which our Marcy Parks definitely didn't play piano. So we had to do some creative staging where, like, I was still playing, but had to act like, "What are you doing? Why are you
doing
playing
over there?"
piano?"
My
When
hands
really
aren't
I'm like
moving.
playing intense stuff and having to keep my upper body very still.
I know, it's really intense stuff.
Yeah.
But in the Broadway show, she actually just accompanied herself with chords. She didn't.
Yeah.
The one I saw, she didn't do like on the recording. It's like very
Yeah.
grand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really complicated.
In mine, she pulled out her Bill Clinton and just locked the sax.
That sounds
It's
like
really,
pretty
I love
impressive.
It's pretty cool. I mean,
Love
she
it.
wasn't incredible, but she was good.
Yeah, better than me.
Yeah. And then Jesus Christ, could I get an easier word?
Oh my god! The best bit in the show.
I was just like, wait a minute, is that... Yeah, that's Jesus.
So,
That's really
so
what it is.
the space that we did the show in is actually an old renovated church.
Oh my gosh.
And there's like a stained glass window that now is like the other side of it is just another room.
Okay.
But with the lighting, they like he stood in front of that stained glass window
man.
and they lit it from the back,
Oh,
so it was
man.
like glowing, and it was the perfect moment.
That's awesome.
So
funny.
funny.
That's awesome.
My favorite line is in the show is Jesus saying like, also, this is not really the type of thing I care very much about.
Like, this is what people pray to me about.
I don't care. I love that line too because everyone's always like, "Oh, pray that we get there in time. You know, pray that I do well in my interview." Like, no,
He's like, I hear you and I'm here for you, but also like,
I'm not gonna do that.
I've got more important things to do right now.
And if there is some holier thing up there, they don't give a shit about your phone interview.
Or if you are young in spelling.
Yeah, exactly.
gonna do this.
So where are we now?
So we're at the vice principal freak out.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
What a thing.
They never let me be principal.
What a thing. Like, where's that coming
That
from?
was just definitely like from the improv show when it
Yeah.
like killed in the improv show, and so they're like,
We're
we're
gonna keep
keeping
it.
it
Yeah.
to Broadway.
Yeah.
Like-
And it like totally worked fine, but it also could have done without it.
yeah, I agree. I was like, this is funny, but not like the best.
Yeah.
But okay.
But like, how cool is that to think like, I'm just gonna improv something right now,
Amazing.
and then later it's like something that's
yeah.
in a Broadway show.
Totally.
Yeah, again, that's the
Totally.
dream. I mean,
That's
it's
so
right?
cool.
I mean, pretty much happens every time I do improv.
Well, I
I
can
actually,
imagine. Yeah.
in middle school, improvised an entire show, which is now Wicked.
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I also heard that you were the inspiration for Hamilton
True.
So
Yeah.
you played Alexander Hamilton in real life.
I-
in an improv show.
I actually originally it was focused more around Aaron Burr,
Oh,
okay.
but yeah,
yeah, bummer.
people were like, "Who's that?" I was like, "What about the guy on the $10
Yeah.
founding father without
know-
a father?"
We can't pay Lin-Manuel, so you have to stop coding. We can't afford the rest of Hamilton.
And he will hear this. It's okay. Then where do we go?
And then Logan's dad comes back and spills the soda on the stage, and it's like, we need to disable the foot.
Yeah.
And it's a big test about should we cheat or should we not cheat, you know?
Yeah.
Big life lessons.
It's a
Big
show
life
with a
lessons.
lot of
Always
life
cheat.
lessons.
Yeah.
Always cheat.
The
Always
lesson
cheat
is
what we
always
learned.
cheat. Yeah.
You get out anyway because of karma, but
Doesn't
cheat.
matter. But still do it. Yeah, and then we find out that old Barf has some OCD that he's dealing with.
Uh-oh.
Like he can't spell his word until the floor is clean.
Poor guy.
But eventually he does.
Yep.
So.
He's aight. He's aight.
He's
He's a
aight.
smarty.
Yep.
He aight. Oh gosh. Big Olive song, guys.
Yeah.
The "I Love You"
So
song
beautiful.
is, yeah, it's
perfect.
incredibly beautiful and really well written. And this is one that has a bunch of like more world music instruments in it, which I think is really clever, and it's
'cause
written in
the
that
mom
sort
is
of right
overseas.
Right. in the Ganges,
And the
right?
Ganges getting
She washes herself.
washing herself in the Ganges.
With Christina Ricci or something. I don't know.
and a great grandfather Nietzsche.
Yeah, and it's just really, really well woven together, all of these beautiful melodies and harmonies, and it's one of my favorite songs in the show for sure. It's just so beautiful, and it really stands out, I think.
Yeah.
Long. I mean, I like watching Celia Keenan Bolger do this. I was like weeping. It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's why you asked me if I'd cried yet.
Yeah, makes me cry so much.
It's
And
Maybe
she's
an
like,
ice cream.
and she's just imagining all these things that she wishes her parents would say. It's so heartbreaking. Like they're so absent, and she's like, I just want them to say that they love me.
Oh.
It's so
Right.
sad. Her
Yeah.
poor baby, and she's so good. She deserves love. Ah.
Sounds like that song was really good. I should listen to it again.
Listen to it with like the full effect, like when you're at work.
Yeah, I had some
Listen to
homemade
the
ice cream
full-
that I was eating while I listened to this part of the show, so I was a little distracted.
I'm a little distracted. It looked good. I saw it on like the
Super good.
Snapchat.
Super good.
It
No,
looked
but it
good.
sounds like it was an important moment for
It's so
Olive.
good, and it's so good that this show can like, they like earn your trust so well in the beginning of it, and they're like, we're gonna have a great time. You're gonna love these characters. We're having so much fun that they can like have this kind of depth too, and you're on board, and you're like,
Yeah, just a
this is
moment
really
of it.
well deserved, and it's really earned, and like she like this moment is like everyone's on board. I feel like with it, like
Yeah.
a lot of times. What was I just watching? Kinky Boots. I just saw Kinky Boots, and great show. I had a great time. But the main guy, like, he has like 2 huge like emotional solos at the end, and I was like, you did not earn these. Like, you don't like. I don't really care about emotions as much for you to have this kind of song. But I feel like all of like they wrote the whole show so well that like everything else is so fun that you get to have this kind of moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's also she's
written so well.
Yeah, she enriches the show in a way. Like, she's the only kind of straight character.
Yeah.
She doesn't really have a lot of quirkiness to her.
Totally.
She's great, but she doesn't have a lot of... So yeah, you get to have this grounding character that the rest of this pandemonium.
You get to laugh, you get to
surrounds.
cry. What else do you want?
Maybe some homemade ice cream.
Well, that's after.
Olive also has one of my favorite lines. It's if you take the W in answer, the H in ghost,
Please walk me
the
through
extra
this.
A in aardvark, and the T in listen, you could spell the word what. You
And
could
no
say
one
the
would
word
hear
what,
you.
and no one would hear you because the
they're
whole
all
word would be
silent.
silent.
It's so smart.
She said that so fast in the show, and I was not like so paying so much attention. I actually wrote down,
Yeah.
"I am not following your logic here, Olive."
It's a genius.
It is genius.
It's really kind of that's.
It's
funny.
another one of those like total like dad jokes.
Yeah.
Because the whole word would be silent.
Oh, get
I
it! And
just
then
love
they
it.
nudge you till your
Right.
shoulder
Yeah.
hurts. Where's the W come from? The W.
Answer.
Answer. There it
The
is.
W in answer,
What
the
a
H
dumb
in
thing.
ghost.
But so well made.
Yeah.
Smart.
So well
She's a
crafted.
smart little cookie.
Yeah,
She is.
smart.
Yeah.
She just spends all day thinking about words.
Oh.
What a loser.
I'm so dyslexic. Like that was never my life. And so, like,
Right? This
Very
musical is like,
boring.
oh man, I wish I did that. Like, why do I feel like I want to be a word
why
nerd?
do I want to be a big nerd? I was
Yeah.
cool.
I actually wrote that down. I was. You were probably so cool.
I was that wrong.
I want to be like Katie Ewing.
Everyone thought that. I still do.
I was gonna say, I have a poster of you on my ceiling.
That's not a lie.
Too real!
That's factual, and I've seen it.
Huh.
And his boyfriend's uncomfortable, but it's staying.
It's
Yeah.
staying for sure.
Well,
Mm,
it's your prerogative.
do what you can
You
in
can
life.
cut it. I just outed you. Jordan, not listeners.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh
You just cut that
no! We'll
out.
just put that out.
I'll just talk like this for the rest of the.
Jacob's so too positive.
I'm a man. I just want you to know.
Sorry I outed you, and
It's okay.
let's move on.
All right, moving on. Vice principal pays for. Well, we haven't seen the ending. Sorry, the whole ending.
The whole
still needs to
ending.
occur.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, sorry,
Jeez.
sorry.
Logan goes.
Man.
Sad times.
Yep.
It's a hard lesson for
Yeah,
Logan
she
to
spells
learn.
Vug wrong. V-U-G, Vug. She's like, V-H-Y-U. Idiot.
It's so
You
simple.
dummy.
Fuck.
Three
That
letters.
simple.
Yeah.
That's how they get ya.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she has her reprise. I hope you still love me, America.
It's so hard. It's devastating.
I
Oh,
like your wacky
baby.
vibrato at the end of it.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah. This also doubles as just sadness.
That's his
sad
acting.
tuba.
Yeah.
You let it affect your voice, the emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Barfi and Olive both kind of go back and forth,
Battle it
contemplating
Yep.
whether or not they should both throw it for a moment.
It's cute.
It's nice.
Cute friendship.
Again, I can
They
throw back to
do a
Greece.
cute little waltzy dance. What's it called? Pas de deux?
Pas de
It's French for something.
Pas
I
de
don't know.
deux.
Yeah.
Pas de deux.
Sorry. But it went there.
I like that one. That's a fun one.
And then the end.
And then she doesn't decide to lose, but she loses.
She loses.
But Barfi, he deserves to win. I think
Ooh,
this is all he
bold
has.
statement. True.
This is
But
like his thing.
she is abused by her father, and her mom's not living at home.
I don't know that she's.
I don't know if
That's
She
It's
says, "I
dramatic.
think he takes out on me what he wants to take out of you, on you." I think Dad is angry, Mom. I don't know, man. I think something bad's happening in that house.
Good.
Yeah, at least
That's
yells
just-
at her in a bad way.
That just puts a bit of a
It's really sad.
shadow over
And that's
this
the
whole
show, ladies and gentlemen.
good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, bad dads.
Domestic
Anyway.
violence.
He his life's hard too. I fully agree to that.
Yeah. I mean, he also, I think he has a very nice character arc as well.
Totally.
And at the end, he's like, "Ugh, I should spell this wrong too, yeah?"
Right.
And I was like, no,
That's
you do
cute.
you, boo.
Yeah, it's cute. Anyway.
Love it.
Oh, all right.
Barfay
So we
wins,
end.
and I'm down for Barfay winning because in the Where Are They Now? Doesn't he say like they both go together anyway? Is that true?
I don't remember.
I think he's
missed
like
that.
with his good friend Olive.
Oh
goes
yeah,
to
he sure
Nashville.
does.
Is that
Becomes
right?
super handsome and yep.
I don't
Could
know.
be.
Yeah, I
I
think
don't
that does
remember.
happen.
So
Also,
I think if she gets to go and experience it, then I'm fine with it.
really,
Also, like, why can't the girl win? Anyway.
well, yeah, I guess that's
Because it's real life.
fair. Yeah, the
Totally fair.
male
I wasn't thinking.
gender is better.
Just
I
kidding.
forgot this
Every
play
way,
was
shape,
grounded
and
in
form.
realism.
Just kidding.
Yeah, disclaimers. Just kidding, y'all.
She went on to write a book called "Not Living Up to Expectations."
It didn't live up to expectations.
Excellent line.
Such a
Excellent
cute.
line.
I'm so glad that they did the Where Are They Now?
It's so
like,
good. I
you
love
want
it.
to know what their lives are
Love
like
it.
later. Like, that's exactly
you
what
always
you want.
do. Yeah.
My favorite is after all of them, have these long explanations of what they're up to. Leave Coney Bear has cats.
So good.
That's what his life has amounted to.
Hey,
Leave
but
Coney
he's
Bear
so
has
happy.
cats.
Love it. I love
He's
it. I
so
love it.
fulfilled.
Love it.
Because you can just see him, like, taking care of his cats. And he's happy.
I have all these cats. You can see like a shot of him doing that. I got
It's like
cats
a Harry
already.
Potter picture where, like, it moves and it's just, like, the cat's, like, running around.
He's got a big old
And he's,
smile
like,
on
the
his
biggest
face.
smile on his face.
All these cats. What am I to do?
Just love him.
I love them so much.
Love.
All right, so I think it's safe to say, usually we go kind of around the horn, love it, hate it, sort of liked it,
Hate it.
hate it.
I hate this
Yeah,
show.
That's
Full
fair.
waste of my time.
No, I
can
love
see
it.
that.
Yeah,
I
I
actually
love
loved it. I know you guys hated it.
Would love to
but,
watch again.
I would love to be in the show.
Yeah, it'd be so fun to be in it. I would love
Yeah.
to be in it. Even just one of the, like, even just to play Jesus or like one little bit role. It'd be so fun.
So,
So fun.
let's do it, guys.
Let's just put this on
Let's
right
start
now.
a site-specific
Shut this down
25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee in this room.
right now.
Chicago Theater, guys.
I love that idea.
Bert can play the cats that leave
would
Coney
play
Bear.
the cats.
I am 100% in.
All right, so what did we think? We all loved it.
Loved.
So now we go into my
Loved
favorite
it.
part,
Yeah,
the segments. Various
Great.
segments.
great.
We want to start.
At the beginning.
That's a
I
very
guess.
good place to
I think we
start.
should start
Thanks.
at the end.
When you read, you begin with ABC. When you do a podcast,
There's
you
no word.
begin with
We could
the
do-
pop song.
You want to do pop song?
Let's do pop song.
Pop song!
You
Once
got
you
it.
pop the show, tune don't stop. Ah! Last time you did it.
Very good.
Isn't that nice?
That was nice. Can you do it one more time?
Yeah. Once you pop the show, tune don't stop. Ah!
Oh, shit.
It's the that's really makes
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that was good.
Shit.
Yeah.
Good. Solid.
Yep. All right. So in this segment, we replace if you need to, or just choose a song that would fit nicely into this musical. Who wants to go first? Mine's fairly obvious.
Mine is too.
So-
You know what? I had a
Oh.
hard time with this one, and I got kind of lazy, and I will admit that.
Okay.
And
I only have one.
And I won't lie. Mine, I chose was "Gary's Got a Boner" by The Replacements. And
I've-
guess which one that's replacing?
The "I Love You" song.
Probably the "I Love You" song.
Yeah.
I've never.
I don't know
heard
that song.
It's,
Well, we
the
listened to
lyrics are "Gary's got a boner."
Gary's got a boner.
You know how I found this song?
You-
I
Even
googled
though
songs
he's
about
a
boners,
boner.
and there was a listicle filled with 10 songs about boners.
Wow, that's upsetting.
And
Gary's
I chose
Got
the
a
first
Boner.
one.
On the album Let It Be.
Wow.
That's
a
what I
la-
chose.
Gary got a boner.
Yeah, that's a real song that exists.
So
Not for comedy purposes.
Since obviously I also replaced My Unfortunate Erection.
Wow, real original, you guys.
Yeah.
That's why we have a podcast. It's for pals.
So I replaced it with Too Close Dancing by Next. You guys will
I got excited.
Dancing
and that's
Too
enough
Close.
For me.
Yeah, for sure.
Dancing
agree.
real slow.
That song gave me.
Oh, and then he says, "You're making
got
it hard
Jacob's
for
fully
me."
erect. For those of you following at home, this is Jacob's second boner of the evening.
Let's take a look at the boner scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen.
The survey says,
ding ding,
it's
two.
boner time!
Factual.
Factual. You can't dispute it. Because you
All
can't
right.
lie.
So your song?
The only one I was like racking my brain all day, and the only one I got is replacing I Speak 6 Languages, and it's Iggy Azalea? I'm so fancy.
Full respect, dude. Bring one. Bring
Yeah.
one. Yes.
We already know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Right?
bragging the whole time. I love
Right.
it.
Nicely
Very,
done.
that was really
Yeah.
good. Jacob.
Nicely done.
That was
Oh,
really
I
good.
know.
Oh, I know.
I have
You got
lots
the
of
word right.
talents.
If anything, you needed to win this, if there's winning, this segment being a musical director. So you've won it.
Ding, ding, ding.
I don't really choose
Champion.
You don't
Champion.
win. You don't
Just
win
sensational
anything. Just so you know,
champion.
it's just the pride of. being-
Wait, why am I here then? I don't even get like a consolation prize?
Oh no.
You will be
Alright.
You
consoled
usually get
for being
Starbucks,
here.
but Dan
I didn't have time. It's 9:30.
didn't buy.
It's 9. It was 9:30. It's now 11:45.
Yikes on bikes.
All right, onward and
It's
upward.
white.
Who do you relate to?
Okay.
Obviously, Leaf Coney Bear for me. Just gonna say it.
Great.
There are a couple of nuances there. Leaf Coney Bear really just falling into fortune, not financial, but just fortunate things occur. That doesn't necessarily no reason for them to. That happens to me sometimes, and it's kind of nice. But then I also relate very directly to Barf because I have horrible sinus issues. So yeah,
That's unfortunate.
yeah,
I'm sorry about
yeah.
that.
So I relate to those two characters.
I would say Barfay. I think like I'm inferring from context clues that his dad kind of sucks, but his mom's like really like kind and supportive, and like not a lot of people like understand him, and I felt like that a lot in my life. You
wow.
feel me? You
Ooh.
feel me? Like people.
Shots fired.
Not everyone like fully understands. Like got a weird brain.
Mm.
Yeah.
And, that's how I feel. I'm
You
kind
like
of like a
science?
weirdo, you know.
You really like science?
My feet are great.
You have magic feet?
Yeah.
They're magic.
Do you have sinus issues?
Have you seen me on the dance floor? My sinuses aren't perfect.
All right, then you got
I
it.
could stand to do a neti pot.
Have you ever? I could stand to do a neti pot at any
I
moment.
wouldn't say no to a neti pot.
Have you ever had sexual feelings for a man named Oliver?
You know what? Yes.
Done.
In high school, yes,
You're
there was
barf.
like a pretty cute guy in my class named Oliver.
There you go.
He was kind of weird, but
Hey, dark and
I'm
mysterious.
sorry, Oliver. For some crazy reason, you're listening to this. There's no way this would cross his path. But
think
Are you
maybe
friends with him
we'll-
on Facebook?
we are.
I'm gonna find him and tell him. Well, I probably have to most relate to the two dads. Right?
Yes.
You don't have a choice.
Thanks,
Related to
Katie.
the homosexual characters.
I don't know. I feel like
Would you be the effeminate dad or the?
yeah, we don't have to go
Hey,
there.
don't put that on him.
Just kidding.
No labels.
I feel like probably Leaf Coney Bear in a lot of ways, especially me as a child.
Yeah.
Like my parents definitely. My mom is a teacher and did like tests for like weird social disorders, and she definitely put me through a lot of testing for ADD and ADHD.
Yeah.
Because I was a crazy kid, for
Turns out you
sure.
just needed to tickle some ivories.
Even in college, like I was the one who like had a bouncy ball on his desk and was like, "What? What's happening? I don't know."
Who
All
are you?
right.
Where am I? Yeah.
So probably Leaf, because I'm a space cadet in
Yeah.
everyday life.
So we got a pair of leaves and a barf.
And just one barf.
One
That
barf.
is beautiful.
Nicely
That's
done.
a nice summary.
Yeah.
Also, do you want to say that like I try and live my life with like Olive's kindness as well?
I think everyone could do if everyone were a little more olive.
Yeah.
So everyone listening,
would
go
be a
home
great
and eat
place.
some green or black olives, and feel better. Feel good about yourself.
Okay.
I also feel like I relate. This just popped into my mind. I feel like I relate to Banch in the weird way that, like, I usually am just like sort of like a genuinely nice guy, and I just bottle it up inside until eventually I explode with rage.
But it's
That's
like
a thing
once.
that's a thing that happens in my life, legitimately.
Okay.
Yeah, the people who know me are like, yep, that's true.
You nailed it.
Sometimes-
He also just like doesn't care about your shit. Is his thing too. Like he's just so over this
Spell the
spelling
word.
bee, just
Right?
like, ah.
But in the end, he's like, I'm gonna give Olive this
Yeah,
$25.
he's inevitably a nice guy for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
For sure.
yeah.
For sure.
All
But
right.
if I snap, look out.
Look
Snap back on
out.
top.
Stay on Jacob's good side,
Snap
everybody.
into-
Exactly.
Jake.
Exactly. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. My absolute favorite. Hashtag that. I don't know if we're supposed to do that one together. One day I'll
okay.
make like little piano.
Yeah, we'll have
ditties.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That
then you
was
can help me with that.
Sure.
Yeah.
$200.
$200.
Can't afford that.
Nope.
How
no
about,
friggin' way.
a smile and a wink?
Yeah. And $5.
Okay, cool.
Deal.
I could swing that one.
So hashtag that. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My hashtag is Hashtag things Olive is lovelier than. Oh no.
I've got one. An ice cold glass of lemonade on a hot day.
Ooh.
Hashtag things Olive is lovelier than.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mwah.
How about my unfortunate erection?
For those of you following at home, that's boner 3 for Jacob.
And there it is, 3! Ladies and gentlemen.
It's pretty lovely, but not as lovely as Olive.
It's also
Boner Town
unfortunate.
3, population Jacob.
I'm not great at this game.
No, it's good.
Fantastic, you nailed it.
Your boners are wonderful, but
Thank you.
Olive is even more wonderful than those boners.
Yeah. Also,
A Subway sandwich. Hashtag things Olive is.
Well,
things that
Slightly
are a foot
lovelier.
long.
Ooh.
Hashtag Jacob's boners.
Is that 4? No, judges say that's not a 4. All right. You have to come up with one. If you want to come up with a second one.
No, he
God, I
did
don't
one.
know.
He talked about his boners.
No, I know. It seemed like
Yeah,
you were
that's a
thinking
good
about
one.
another one.
I don't know.
Don't feel pressured
No,
to
no,
think
that
of a
was
second.
great.
It was a fantastic
Beautiful spring day. It's not too hot, not too cold.
There you go.
All you need is a light jacket.
April 22nd,
one. I was
baby.
going to say red roast that's newly sprung in June.
She was
Beautiful.
busting out all over? All over the meadow and the hill?
All right. You want to go next with your hashtag?
I don't have a hashtag. You go. I'll think of one. I'm new to this game.
Hashtag
Shit,
noob.
We've never had a guest defy us in this way
I'm not
before.
going to defy. I just need more time.
Okay, we'll cut it out.
All right.
Dan, what's your hashtag?
My hashtag is, because I love him so much, hashtag Coney Bear moment.
Hashtag getting stuck to a chair that wasn't sticky, and your dress wasn't sticky either, but now you're stuck to each other.
Finish it.
Hashtag Coney Bear moment.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Ooh. Now we've got to keep in there somehow that you got stuck to this chair.
I can just explain it
We'll
now.
figure it out.
I'm stuck to this chair, guys. And it's very real and very frightening.
The chairs came out of an antique shop. I believe they're from like the 1930s. They were only $4 each.
Are
We
these
thought they
new?
looked nice.
They
Well,
look nice.
new to me.
Well, I'm stuck to it.
This is 2016. I don't know if you're aware, so no.
You have a lovely home, BT Dubs.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I love all their plants.
Yeah, I wish
I just
could
have to throw
say-
away a plant,
I wish
and
I
I'm
could
upset
not
about it.
prescribe to the gender stereotypes and say that I contributed anything to this apartment, but I didn't. It's all my girlfriend. She's got wonderful taste, and I have terrible
Aw.
taste.
That's
Right.
love,
She does a
guys.
nice job. Anyway,
Very good job.
hashtag Coney Bear moment.
Hashtag Coney Bear moment. Unfortunate erection. Number 4.
Number 4! This is a sexy podcast.
Yeah, you
This
guys.
is getting sexual.
I'm so glad you've had 4 erections on this show.
I'm not mad about it, though.
I'm like super glad Katie's keeping track for me.
Well, you talked about at first your boner like under the radar. I don't think Dan realized, but I kept track of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no, I
It's
heard
an
it,
hour
but I
on
think I
boner
just
4.
let it go.
You let it go.
Because
Yeah.
boners are allowed in this classroom.
Great.
While you're thinking about your hashtag, the runner-up to Coney Bear moment was hashtag it's not me, it's my unfortunate erection, which is going to be the other one.
That's cute too.
Yeah,
Totes fresh.
or foiled. Hashtag foiled by my unfortunate erection.
Hashtag Leaf Coney Bear has cats. Hashtag
All right, Leaf Coney Bear has cats. I like it.
Hashtag
Let's play with it.
Leaf Coney Bear has cats. I don't know what that means. Run with it.
Man found dead, buried beneath 34 cat carcasses. Hashtag Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
Looks like he's wearing a fur coat always. Hashtag Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
Every episode of Hoarders ever. Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
You can't eat cat poop. Hashtag Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
Surprise, cat food isn't that bad. Hashtag Leaf Coney Bear has cats.
Actually, I
what?
said that cat poops. Hashtag
Cat poops, cat food, essentially the same thing.
They look the same.
Leaf Coney Bear does have cats. All right, let's
Full
round it
respect.
out. Writing, music, pageantry. Katie.
10, 10, 10. Across the board, perfect
Yeah.
score. Wonderful, wonderful show.
So 10 out of 5.
I think, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you gave Chicago like a 10-5-5, I think. So, yeah, all right.
You guys did Chicago?
We did.
Yeah,
That was
first
our
episode. First ep.
If you were
Alright.
a listener of MusiPals.
Well, I am now.
Yeah. All right, what do you got? Writing, music, pageantry, 5 out of 5. But we're not sticklers for the numbers.
What do you mean pageantry? presentation.
This is one that Dan loves.
It's just pageantry. Whatever that means to
Whatever that means
You
to
know,
like,
when I see the glow in your eyes when you say, it's just pageantry. I get it. I get it.
It's something you have to translate to.
Say them all one more time.
Writing, music, pageantry.
Yeah, I'm going to say 10s across the board again.
Yeah.
10 out of 5.
Doubling the scores.
10 out of 5.
To no one's surprise, I gave it a 99.9 in writing, 100 in music, and a 5 in pageantry.
Why the 0.5 in writing? Intrigue.
No, 99.9 in writing.
Sorry, why the 0.1?
Point.
Oh, I'm just not willing to say that I've seen the perfectly written musical yet.
Oh, respect.
Just not there
We
yet.
have not done Cabaret yet, so that's
I remain convinced
Cats.
that's going to be a terrible show. Now,
But
Cats will be fantastic.
Cats! But cats. Cats will never be talked about on this podcast, or I'm gonna die.
Next week's episode, Cats. Hashtag Coney Bear.
No.
Leaf Coney Bear has cats. All right.
Great.
Thank you so much for listening. Jacob,
you.
thank you so much for being on the show. It was
You're
wonderful
welcome.
to have your perspective, both as a comedian and as someone who's done the show many
This is an
times.
actor for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
an actor. I thought comedian was more all-encompassing than actor, because it could be
No.
like stand-up,
No.
actor.
No, actor is more-
Actors can be comedians and also serious.
Well, yeah, but are you both?
Jacob can be very
Do you know what?
serious.
Do you know what my next role is in Chicago?
Batman.
No, it's very serious. Bear is a very serious.
It's in Bear, and I'm playing a. It's about these
Playing
Catholic
Bear?
kids going to a Catholic high school, and 2 of the boys are gay and are closeted, and shit hits the fan pretty quick. I'm not one of those gay boys, surprisingly. I'm just another one of the school kids,
Ah.
but
I'm not
I'm
one of those gay
the-
boys.
It's one of those game
I'm
boys.
not that gay.
I'm the drug dealing rapper. I have a rap solo, you
Yes,
guys.
you do. God,
A
you do.
rap
Can you,
solo.
can you
When I
give us a?
think of the
Can you just
streets-
give us a taste of that?
No, I cannot
Just a
because I
little
cannot
taste?
rap. Also, like I tried earlier, and you guys were like, "Don't do Hamilton." So
Well, we
sorry.
can't afford Hamilton. We
Yeah.
can probably afford Bear.
Go.
No, you can't. I can do Hamilton. I don't have it. It starts like, I don't know. Exhibit AK, sit back, listen, and learn. A couple of sniffs with the 2-second burn. The return is worth every bit. Trust me, kids. This is powerful, powerful shit. Sit, watch while I'm on it. I don't know the rest.
That was good.
No, it's not good.
It's
gonna be-
And let's check the scoreboard. That's 4 erections for Jacob and a pair of erections for Katie and I.
Wow.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah. Come see Bear.
We're excited.
Don't go see Bear.
Well, I'm a little
Yeah,
bitter
anything
that
else
they
you
didn't
want to
let me
plug?
audition for it. So.
Certainly a moment for you to plug anything.
Oh,
So
yeah,
Bear,
please plug.
when's that taking place?
It opens the 2nd week in October and runs through the 1st week in November.
And
Excellent.
where is
Where?
that at?
We're performing it at a church on It's on like Foster and
This is edgy,
Kenmore.
ladies and gentlemen.
Where can we go to find out more
Where can we
information?
go?
Our listeners.
Refuge Theater Project is the name of the company putting it on. You can go to their website, which I'm sure is something like www.justgoogleit.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just Google Bear and Google and just like pray that you find it.
Yeah.
You might find a few pictures of bears.
Well, it's BARE, Bear. Bear.
You
Might
might
pop-
get some
find
porn.
some naked
You might have
things,
some more
yeah.
boners.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could just Google Refuge Theater Project. Comes right up. RefugeTheater.com.
Oh,
Yep.
good job.
Look at that.
So look at that.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
It was
you,
wonderful
Jacob.
to have you.
It's been real. It's been
It's
fun.
been super real and fun.
Follow us on Twitter at the
At
MusiPals
the MusiPals.
and on SoundCloud.
On SoundCloud, it's
Slash.
the dash MusiPals.
There we go.
Flooded it.
Bye, everybody.
I wish you could see the dance right now. It's incredible.
Don't stop.
Upload that to Facebook instantly.
Do that again. I didn't get it. Do that again.
It's MusiPals.
Incredible.
That was a good note.
That's good, you guys. I'm really excited for living room edition of.